Hello, good to see you back. Part number 13 of chapter 9, the final chapter where we are working on this environment scene. So the last thing we did was changing the hatches and making more openings. Now I like to focus a bit more on ivy. Yeah, because I wanted to have that abandoned look, and ivy will eat your scene. Well, when you want to create something that it's abandoned, then ivy takes over in your world, in the main world as well. So Blender has that tool. That's called freezing Blender. Come on. I want to have a button on my keyboard that when I press it, it's, oh, it was not freezing. I was just waiting. IVGen. And IVGen is a very simple tool to generate ivy, and it's growing all over the place. The only thing you need is a good material. So for example, I want my ivy to grow on this building. So I'll select it, get a bit closer. So let's say the plant is here. Yeah, maybe there. And now it needs to grow. How does it work? Well, you go to add curve, add ivy to mesh, and it will grow. So this is a very I would say default way of adding it. But now I like to change it. So max ivy length, well, let's say 4 meters, and then it's calculating and update ivy. And let's take a look what's happening. So it will follow the mesh. And we'll take a look. I think there's too much ivy leaves, so make this 0.2. And ivy size can be upgraded. And I think I prefer even point. Oh, I think this is very large ivy, but updated. Add new default ivy. Yeah. Random seed, maximum time. There's all these things are. Well, let's focus on the ivy. Weight settings, branch settings, leaf settings. I thought that when I make this, if I decrease this, I got less leaves, but it seems that I keep the same. We will find out pretty soon. Yeah, well, that works. Oh, and it's growing on the roof as well. But the problem is that, well, it's not really a problem. I'd like to increase it a bit more. Let's say we just make it 5, and it's growing really wild. Yeah, update it. And I want to put this on lots of places, but first we need to change the material settings. Oh wow, no, keep 4. This is too much. I think it's getting lost as well on the updated. And I was looking for a nice ivy material, and I got one. Really looking forward to. Okay, so we're selecting it and add a new material, and I will use the weed again, leaves weed, pressing the tree, and call this ivy, but yeah, material, of course, leaves. So what I need to change, or we need to change, is go to the node editor. Yeah. And we change the texture. Organic. I added some new ones. This one, leaf 3. I hope it's not that bright. And I like to change this dark color to a more bright color. And we need to select the branches, add a new material. I'll just make this brown. Dark brown. Yay. Alright, so we zoom out a little bit. I don't know what the result is, but well, there's only one way to find out. And there it is. Alright, and from this angle. Okay. Well, that's not bad. I'm thinking about let's let it rendering the scene. So we have some we can do some reviewing. I think the texture fits pretty well, so I'm not going to make changes on that. I think there's a lot of branches, but I think that's normal as well. Okay, cool. So I like to add another one. So click there and give it another shot. We select this mesh. All right, and we go to add a curve, add Ivy to mesh. I hope it keeps the same settings. Yeah. I think I like to make this 5. And I hope it keeps growing, not quitting there, or it's holding here and it's getting a bit rough. Maybe I have to change the settings a bit. Oh yeah, oh that's now it's getting there. Oh my, it's even 7. You can see it starts growing later. And if 7 ruins it, I go back to 5. Oh yeah, how beautiful is that? Ivy takes care of the... Okay, cool. I'll have to put the green. Oh, first, I like to name the branch like the stem. Stem 2. Let's say. No, if it's the right naming, but you get the idea. So we can call this. Oh, first call it new, and why? Oh, ate. Stem 2 and ivy leaf. There we go. And yeah, now we're working on it. Let's add one of that as well, and I hope it's working. So add curve, add ivy to mesh. From this angle, well, it's really getting eaten by the ivy. Perfect. I mean, you can use different seeds, but there is a lot of ivy there. Well, maybe 0.8. It's more floating. Ivy size. Oh, maybe just 0.03. It's not refreshing right now. I have to update Ivy. This can make the difference. Yeah. Yips. I prefer this. I prefer this, yeah. Yeah, just leave the nature doing the work. Nature has no no how do you say? Not waiting for your opinion. Just let it grow. Ivy, leaves, and stem 2. All right. Well, we can take a look. We don't want this viewport to be that big. Rendering. Updating shaders. So that clean building is now eaten up by ivy. Oh, wonderful. Well, for some reason, I don't like this one anymore. That's maybe because I changed some of it. I will remove it. I'm adding the default ones. Add curve. Oh, first select that one. Add mesh. No, curve. Do you remember the settings? I think it was 0.05. And this was 0.5. It was really dark. Okay, update. And maybe I believe size probability needs to be a bit more. Right now there's lots of branches on the right side. Random seed. Now it's a totally different behavior. In fact, you want to let it grow earlier. And I know there is a tool. But yeah. Max condition length. Ivy size. Interesting. But I'll leave it like what it is right now. It's also up to you to play with it. Not going too wild with it. Ivy, leaves, one new render. Then we put the leaves also on other buildings. Don't go too crazy with it. I mean, ivy is cool, but I just didn't add it everywhere. At least this city is abandoned for 200 years. But most of the time people will remove it after some years. But they don't care when it's on a building. That's has no function. Yeah. Alright. There's still lots of stuff I think to tweak to make it look more abandoned. But what do you think on this wall? These hatches, I think they need to go to layer 1. Yips. And for this one as well, just a quick, what do you think? You go to the first line. Oh, you need to think. That's a very complicated move. That's what is this? Cross main. Interesting. Go to 5. No idea why it's there. Buildings. Yeah. And click it. Or maybe it's right there. And let's grow ivy object. Add curve. Select the building. Add curve. Add ivy to mesh. I think let's grow this 6 meters. Then we have more ivy, I think, there. Update ivy. That's probably better. Probably. Yeah. So we have the beautiful, it's going around. Wow. Great tool. New and ivy. Yep, you can select it. There's no reason to be scared of it. And stem. Stem 2. Quick render, and of course there is these shadows on it from the tree. So this is not really getting a realistic, but I want to see if the white is now more saturated or less bright. Whoosh. You can see the more we add, the longer we need to wait for a quick render. All right. Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, it's growing there, and but maybe I can change it anymore. Maybe the leaves need to be a bit bigger, but that's also something you can apply. I don't want to spend lots of time making this look good. I mean, we want to make a more nice scene, but then this course will take too much time. Really too much. Add curve, I have to match. And then we're done. Oh, maybe we also added to that. Oh, cool. And now I like to make this more. That's good. Leaf size 0.01. 0.1 makes sense. And then update. And what is it going to be? Please. Is it updated? Oh, I just missed it, I think. Right. All right. Let's add the material on it. Ivy leaves and stem. Okay, one more thing that I like to do is give it a hit on this stuff. It will be so cool if this works. But if it does not, then it was a nice try. So add leaves, curves. What is it going to be? It's only growing on this mesh, and it's not what I want. So I will remove it. And so if we join this, will that be an ID? Or we make this one object? I think that has to do with it. So we'll give it one more try, or 2 tries. How cool will it be? That's okay. It's probably too much of these, and also the probability. Like this 0.08. Yes. All right, update. I mean, 4 meters is quite a lot for such an object. All right, from this angle. Well, I'll keep 3. I'm interested what that will do. Okay, keep 4. And if it's ruining the look, then we remove it. But this is what I have in mind. You can also change the random seed. The maximum time was also a very good option, but not really the time to change. But look at that, it's acting really nice. Let's hit a render. First applying the material. Ivy leaves. Stem 2. Render. This light is coming from behind, so could be a little bit, well, if you ask me, it's doing a good job. What is this tree doing there? Go away. Maybe this is making bad shadows. It's still in the scene. What the? No, that's no option. For the best, I wanted to cut this building in half. Maybe I will do that. And we have at least some lighting on it. Yeah. Lighting comes from this angle because this will not hit if I do that. Hey. He wants to cut the building in half. Why? Because we want light streaks on that. Quick render. And that's the ivy part. And I'm definitely going to work on more stuff on the kennel in the next part. Will be nice. Like some planks on the wall. And it's really lots of stuff happening here on the left. But if you focus, if you really watch, you can see what's happening. Maybe I'll have to move the tree a little bit. Maybe that's an overkill. I think I will add something there in the background, like more trees. Here in the foreground, we need to add something. It's a bit too empty. And if I look at this ivy here, it looks like it's completely white, and then the ivy is growing, at least on this part. So there is a possibility that I add some props in front of it. Will always be nice. But yeah. And maybe I still cut this building in half because I want sunlight on this area. All right. All right, all right, all right. Good. So this is the end of this part. So there's canal work to do in the front areas, work to do. Some work over there, some work over there. So we're not finished at all. It's okay. See you in the next part and we have some fun there. Bye bye.